Let's have a little chat about scarcity versus abundant mindset. So, your scarcity mindset will block you from actually receiving the abundance that you desire to have. So, you have to switch from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset. Now, I recognized this as I was on my way to coffee this morning that scarcity mindset will think that an experience or something that you're doing is taking from you. Whereas an abundant mindset is where an experience, regardless of whether it is deemed good or bad, which are just subjective labels, that any experience is giving to you. So I was on my way to coffee this morning and I was driving 20 minutes to get to the coffee shop that I enjoy going to because I believe that they have the best coffee. I like the atmosphere there. And that alone is worth it to me to take the time to drive 20 minutes. I also like to get dressed up to go. So it's part of this whole experience to me. This experience gives me life, but not just that. So let's back up because the other day, my mom was like, "Why are you driving so far to get coffee? That's such a waste of gas." And so, from her perspective, she sees that experience is taking from me, or if she were to do it herself, it would be taking from her. It is expending, in her perspective, it is expending more, it is taking more than it is giving. And she sees that taking it, using the gas is a taking from her life experience, and therefore she wants to, it's all, scarcity is almost like this, like also like hoarding mentality of like there's not enough, right? That's that scarcity of like, why would you use all the gas? There's, it's so far, as if there's not more gas to buy. And when actually there is. So even as I was driving, and today I actually wasn't listening to music. Usually I put on a playlist and I like get in the vibe. But today I was just with my thoughts and I was like driving and I was like, man, I just love the experience of driving on the open road. I love just being with my thoughts. And I was like, oh, this experience to me is giving me life through this, the journey, the 20 minutes there is so worth it to me because I get to be with my thoughts. I get to have like, like when you're driving and or even like in the shower, you have like those just like thoughts because there's not resistance, because you're just in the flow and your body is technically doing an activity that it knows how to do, whether it's driving or showering. And then your creative mind opens up, which actually gave me the idea to do this video because I was like, this experience is giving me life. The 20 minutes is not taking 20 minutes out of my day. And now I'm mad because, I'm not going to get that 20 minutes back, or even it's taking the gas and I'm as if I'm not going to get the gas back. Like, I mean, I'm going to have to buy more. But again, like, I don't think that it's taking from a limited amount of money. I always know that there's more money to make. So, this can also be applied to the dating world as well, where as women think that they're wasting their time or they go on a bad date and they don't see it as it's giving them an experience, it's giving them something because they just take the date. If it's a bad date, again, this is a subjective lens. Good or bad doesn't really exist. Everything is actually neutral. Your perspective is whether it's good or bad. And whether it is, whether you're looking through this like lens of scarcity or this lens of abundance. And so an abundant mind will say, okay, well, maybe that date didn't go the way that I thought it would, but what the date did give me is an opportunity to let someone know who I am, an opportunity for me to speak my truth, an opportunity for me to maybe go to a new restaurant, I don't know, a new public place, wherever you guys met, It's like literally looking through the lens of what did this experience give me rather than that date was such a waste of time. I can't believe, I took time out of my day to do that. It's like there is so much else to gain, so much else available when we look at something through what is this giving to me and not just taking from me. And this abundant lens, because usually we look at things through like a worst case scenario and it's taking from me, that scarcity lens. That's like usually our default because we want to be getting things out of life, but really we just need to be making the most of whatever we're doing. And so through this abundant lens, it's like, oh, this is always working out for me. This was an opportunity for me to meet someone new, put myself in a practice vulnerability with someone, sharing my truth, allowing them to see who I am. I also got to use my skills of discernment to see if I like what they're saying. Like there's so much, and it's like that's why dating is like literally practicing. It's good to go on dates, not force yourself to go on dates, but if you're going to go on dates, go with intention and go with this lens of like, this is always going to give me data that I can use to become more of myself, to experience more rather than what is this going to take from me? This man wasted my time, da 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 da. Like, then you're not using your energy wisely because you're choosing this scarcity lens, which is going to keep you in that scarcity loop and run the stories of that was a waste of time, men, there's no good men out there. Why would I even continue to date? There's never going to be a man for me. I guess I'm just going to have to like rely on luck and things like that when it's like, no, all you have to rely on is the lens of abundance, which is also seen as like a lens of love. This is the way that source sees things. It's if you listen to Abraham Hicks, they always say, look through the eyes of source. And that is this lens of abundance, of love, of how is this working out for me? What did this experience give me rather than what did it just take from me? And living through that lens gives you more energy to receive first a feeling and then a thought and then, taking action on something that feels good so that then that's when you literally hit divine guidance, when you are being guided and when you are taking aligned action because it feels good, because you had this like intuitive thought that came to you because it came from a place of feeling good and that's aligned. And so you're doing something not to get an outcome, but you're doing it because it feels good. And because that feeling good and doing it actually gives you life. So if you're going on dates with a man and you're just trying to get to the relationship, you're just trying to get, the outcome of the commitment from the man, you're more aligned then to see that it's taking from you if you don't get that outcome. Versus if you're just aligned to what the experience is giving you, you're actually going to enjoy the journey of dating and you're going to see that you're going to see the ways in which you grew and the ways in which that experience gave you life rather than took from you. So this is also good to know because when it comes to the level of consciousness of someone else, this is what I started to realize through my last relationship is that you can see someone's behavior as, oh, are they actually aligned with abundance or is this person aligned with lack and scarcity? So early on when I started dating my ex, we were out to dinner and it wasn't like a classified date, let's say, but like we were out to dinner. And I had dressed up and because we had plans for after dinner and whatnot. And I went to the bathroom and he had paid the bill. And I came back and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. That's so like generous of you. Yada, yada. Well, later that night, he was like, hey, I have to tell you something. Like, I actually didn't plan on paying the whole bill. I just figured you would like pay me your half later on. And actually, during that date, he asked me to be his girlfriend in like kind of a strangely interesting way. He knew I wanted that. But anyway, he was sort of like, okay, so can we like make it official? Like, do you want to be my girl? I don't know. It just like it wasn't as maybe cutesy as in my mind I thought it would be. And anyway, and then I was double then like kind of like, wait, what? Because then he wanted me to pay for half the bill. And I was like, ugh, like this isn't really what I want. But by the end of the relationship, I would, I wish I would, or I did realize that I wish I would have seen that his level of consciousness at that time was that he was rooted in that lack and that scarcity, that he wasn't seeing how our relationship was giving him life. He was actually seeing it as it's taking from him. And therefore, like, he wanted me to pay for what he thought he didn't have more access to. He didn't, his level of consciousness is that he didn't have access to create more money. But if he had used our relationship as through the lens of love and seeing that the relationship was giving him life and that that there's always more to create and then to obviously receive abundance from the creations that we make in life, well, then like he would have had no problem paying for that dinner. And so anyway, I continued with the relationship because he was generous when he was intentionally saying like, "Hey, I want to take you out on a date," and like we would do those things. But over time, then again, I saw more of his level of consciousness about how he thinks of money and how he sees that money is created. And it's fine because we all go through these levels of consciousness. And I did too, even through our relationship. And then ultimately, we ended things just because, like, we were on some different paths and things like that. And just whatever, we're still working on our own things. And I just have recognized that, wow, like, when people know their creational power and they're looking through the lens of abundance, they always know that there's going to be more, that they're not stressed about being generous or giving to others because they know that there's always going to be more. That's this lens of abundance. There's infinitely more, especially when you know your power to create, you enjoy creating something in your life, whether that's through your job or whatever your skill or your devotion is to your talent, your what is the science of getting rich calls it your faculty, whatever that is that you are doing for fun and using as a source of, giving to others so that you can then receive. So giving others a transformation, giving them a product or a service or whatever that is so that you can receive in return. And so, and then that was just something at the time that my ex had not set up for himself and that I was still working on within myself as well. And now I see it so clearly that, oh, wow, when we actually have a true path of giving, we can then easily receive. And then we're tapped into, okay, there's always infinite abundance. There's always more. There's always ways that we can give to others and create this level of abundance. I also see this as now I'm spending some time with my family. This is my Midwest side quest right now, is that I also see that my family sees life and holds their money through this lens of scarcity, as in they're not going to create more. So technically my parents are like retired, not actively working. And like they see that the money that they have is the money that is just what's left in life. Although that's not technically true because my brother is a very good financial investor and he's actually investing their money. So they're actually earning more money through that path as well. But just like my mom said, why would you go so far to use so much gas? And I'm like, well, it's not just about the gas. Like the gas is taking maybe a little bit of money away. But what I gain from the experience is, again, that open road driving that feels good. I get to listen to music or I get to be with my thoughts. And then I get to see people on another side of town and I get to actually experience the joy of like this delicious coffee. Like there's so much more that the experience gives to me that I really see that people can get stuck in this scarcity consciousness when they don't have access to their creative power, the power to create something in life, know that it is valuable, whether it's art or whether it's a transformation or whether it's a service that you're giving someone in exchange for money, that power to create, that skill that is available to all of us, is like knowing that skill then gives you more of this abundance consciousness lens. It gives you access to the infinite abundance that is available. And when you continue to build momentum in that level of consciousness, you're available for more and more and more opportunities, especially when you see that the journey is giving you so much that you're literally becoming someone in the process. You're becoming the person who sees that experiences are giving you life. Or you're kind of also, you're having a level of discernment to see like, okay, these certain things are not giving me life. So now I'm just going to focus on the things that are giving me life. And, or you can turn any experience into this gave me data. And then we're constantly refining. So really it's like the same, but different. So you can always build in the direction of your abundance consciousness, and life will continue to give you more and more because it can't not. When you are being someone who is giving, then you are someone who is able to receive because life wants to give back to you. So when you give yourself experiences, you give yourself exposure to new things, you are then open for the opportunities to come to you because that's who you are being. Therefore, life has to match that, bring opportunities, bring people to you. And the same goes with when it comes to dating, is like you don't have to be doing more in order to receive your man. It's like we need to see that at any point in time, whether it's going to a coffee shop, going to the grocery store, when you're enjoying that experience, you're actually in the lens of love there. You're actually being that match to love, the love that you desire to find you. And so it's really, again, about who you are being, how you are receiving life, which lens is it coming through? Is it coming through love and abundance, or is it coming through scarcity and lack and fear? And so you get to decide at any point in time. So just to wrap up here, I had a few notes that you see it all as working out for you because it is. Remember that any experience is subjective. It's not good, bad, right, or wrong. It is however you are interpreting it. So you have the ability, the conscious ability to choose to see, how did this experience give something to me? Give me some data, rather than, oh, this sucked. This was such a waste of my time. I can't believe I did that. Da, da, da. No, we learn from it. And that's when we can integrate the lessons to go forward and to make decisions, in the future, and seeing it as always working out for you. Seeing life through the eyes of source. This is that love and abundance lens of how it's all working out for you. And remember to see that any experience is either giving to you, or you can see it as it's taking from you, but it's in your advantage, in your best interest to see all things as giving you life, and therefore you will be available for more life and more opportunities, more love, more abundance to actually find you, because you are being the one who is matching that frequency, that consciousness. So therefore you won't attract anymore those who are in a scarcity consciousness. You won't attract opportunities that don't give you the things that you desire. So use this as your new baseline to continue with your abundance consciousness, to continue to build in that realm, the realm of which all of life is always giving to you rather than taking from you. And you'll receive so much more.